so first thing we'll look at is setup. Okay. Left arm, you can see on the left. Oh, sorry, moving. This is the before. Here's your after, yeah? Okay, so if you look at your left arm there now, sort of just drawing down the line of your logo at the top there, there's kind of your left arm. There's kind of your left arm there now. So your left arm is a little bit lower. Generally speaking, the fact, just in terms of where your hands are in relation to your body, you look a bit sort of shrugged up here on the right hand side. Just the white lines on your top seem shorter because you sort of everything's a bit sort of shrugged up and held a bit sort of close to the body here now. It's not as easy. So because of that position here now, as you went back, you can see now there's not really much wrist hinge. The hinge is kind of coming in your left arm here. Yeah. Okay, so you're bending your arm there, and the left arm and the club are kind of in a straight line, and your right elbow very, very high. Grip-wise, you can see it's better there. Your right thumb now is over your left, and we're trying to get more of a hinge there. We look at those two positions. Very, very different, yeah? Just in terms of where your right elbow is now, your right elbow now is softened in here nicely, okay? Potentially you could get a club sort of resting across there, and that to me would be the position you can go and practice. So we can give you a golf club there, you can just go home and stuff, and what I say, I'll send this through to you anyway. If we look at that there, that screenshot on the right hand side is what you're trying to create, okay? So looking at the marks there, you've got a left arm that's extended. I don't say straight because it's straight, it's just locked. At address, it was hanging down from the shoulders just as relaxed as can be, and as we go back, we're hinging the wrist, okay? So we're getting that kind of L position there now. Your shoulders are turned through about, I don't know, 65, 70 degrees from there. In time, that will turn the shoulders a little bit more, which puts the club a bit further back, which will give you more power. At the moment now, though, a 6-iron going over 100 yards, that's a pretty long shot, to be fair, so don't need any more power at the moment now. It's just repeating that and getting that technique down so we can just sort of consistently and get a good strike, okay? So shoulders are turned, wrists have hinged, okay? Set the club in a good position. The distance from your hands there to your head is pretty much maintain the same kind of distance there. You're keeping that width as you go back. Very, very good position. From there now we can just twist through and do what you kind of naturally want to do. We can figure out some movements there as we go through, okay, sort of tweaks there, but for the moment now, that is absolutely fine. We're making good contact. Let's say 100 yards there with some of those shots there. Very, very impressive, okay? But your only thought now is just to get that hinge of that wrist. If we can get that club into that L position compared to what you had before, where it's almost like a lift. And I think, as I said, because your arms are sort of bending in to start with, you knew the golf club had to kind of go up here. Has to. If your arms are like this, you're right, it's very difficult now to hinge the wrist up because your left wrist would have kind of been bowed like so. You can't then, unless you kind of go whoop and do that, which just wouldn't feel comfortable. The only way that club can start going up here now is by you just lifting your arms, and that right arm you can see very, very high there, kind of almost staying straight, which is causing the issues, okay? So better grip. If you look at the grip when you come back down here now, you can see the gap there between your hands. If we go back to there, right thumb now is a bit more covered by your left thumb, see? You can almost see the end of your thumbnail there on your left hand, where that we're now sitting underneath the pad there of your right hand, okay? So better grip, and again a better left arm. Those two things there in terms of grip and left arm enables
when
that.
You say L,
so the L position is the club and your left arm.
Fine.
So as the green line there, sort of the L shape, okay? So again, like I say, take a club home, we can look at that and you can sort of get yourself in a position and check where that position is. Make sure you're doing it correct. What I say to all my golfers and stuff, anyone I teach and so on at any level, if you want to go home and say, okay, right, Tommy, okay, right, just film a face. We're looking at face on as your swing at the moment. Film a swing and then even it back and say, what do you think? Is this good? Because what I don't want you to do is go away and try and hinge the wrist and then start going, yep, and getting all collapsed into your body. There's a good way. There's a way where you can have straight arms and lock this way. Likewise, you could get a position where your left arm is bending here, this right arm softens and the club ends up kind of in there somewhere, really kind of close to your body. And then what I would suggest, if that did happen, you might spend, I don't know, a couple of times a day working on that for sort of 3 or 4 minutes and then sort of coming back in a week or two's time to have the next lesson and thinking, oh, Christ, she's gone back to doing this now. And then you always find you're changing the same position back and forth each time as opposed to progressing. So feel free if you want to do that. Just face on position. Just send it over as an email. Okay, just check that position there. Is it in the right spot? I mean, there's a checkpoint, and there's what you're looking for. The L position there. Left arm is nice and extended. Right arm is nice and soft. And like I said, if you're playing tennis, you'd hold the club there. That's kind of how you hold the racket. So go back with your right. If you're not too sure, swing the club back with your right hand. Where's your right got to be? left hand the golf club. There you go, done. You wouldn't kind of go there with your right hand playing tennis, would you?
But the two arms have got to be in the same position.
Yeah, where they are, there's fine, because I mean, I'm looking from a different angle there now. Those arms are pretty much level. If you got into that position there, I could put a club across your
level, right?
as close to. Don't sort of go in and try and move them sort of a little tiny bit. It's more pressure. Just let the right elbow soften. You can clearly see there though that right arm is a lot higher than the left, and nothing would balance on that.
No,
okay, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
excellent, good stuff.